Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the new agreement that the Indian Railways has done and about the railway reforms that are very much in news nowadays. So let us first understand the timeline of the video. First we'll be looking at the news, and then after that the new model that the Indian Railway would be talking about and the agreement that Indian Railways has recently signed, and then about the Indian Railways benefit, what benefit we will be getting out of the agreement. After that, the Indian Railways and railway reforms and why the Indian Railway is so important. In the end, a prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 3, which is infrastructure, and under infrastructure it is the railway section. See, from exam perspective, we have always seen that the infrastructure portion has played a major role, and you should be able to know about the Indian Railways, the importance of Indian Railways and the benefits and the reforms that Indian Railways is requiring. So this news has been taken from the Indian Express, and it reads rupees 26,000 crore deal with Siemens. So Siemens is another company with which the Indian Railway has signed the 26,000 crore deal for high horsepower engines. So the deal and the agreement is about what? So it is about the high horsepower engines. So it is about the railway engines. What is the new model? How it helps railways? So if you will see that this headline or the news has many points in it that we need to know. First is about the deal with Indian Railways and the Siemens. Then the deal is about the high horsepower engines, then how it is going to be helpful and what is the new model. So let's talk about the whole news. So recently Indian Railways has partnered with global mobility solutions major, that is Siemens. And why they have collaborated with each other? It is to produce 1200 high horsepower electronic locomotives at an overall cost of around rupees 26,000 crores. So both Indian Railways and Siemens have come together to produce high horsepower locomotives. High horsepower locomotive is the major word, that the locomotives or that they will be producing, or the train engines that they will be producing will be of high horsepower. It means they will be of high capacity than what are already present in our country. Then the Indian Railways has had such agreements before also. It is not that the agreement with Siemens is the first time that Indian Railway is having an agreement with someone. No, before also they had with other major companies like Alstom and General Electric. But it is just that the agreement with Siemens, which has taken place recently, is little new, to procure locomotives from factories in Bihar's Madhepura and Marhowra respectively. And Marhowra is in Saran district. So both Madhepura factory and Marhowra factory are very famous for the locomotives, and the Madhepura factory was around 3-4 years back was very much in news for producing the highest horsepower engine of Indian Railways till now. And the pact with Siemens is special because this model is new in India. So this is what make the agreement special, that the Indian Railway signing with Siemens is special and a new model in India. So what has happened and why is this new model special? So what has happened is the supplier, that will be Siemens. So the other company, see, one is Indian Railways and the other is company Siemens. So Siemens would be the supplier and Indian Railways will be the procuring agent this time. So the person who will be procuring, or the entity who will be procuring the made products, will be Indian Railway, and the other entity who would be supplying the material would be the Siemens. So the supplier Siemens has no capital expenditure liability in this contract. So this is what is important, that no capital expenditure liability. So it is the liability which causes problem in any of the agreements, that if any of the entity will be suffering from liability or will be having liability, then this is what creates a problem and the other party become hesitant to put their money or capital in it. Then in this the Siemens has no capital expenditure liability. So this is a very good point from the respect of the other company who will be supplying the material. Then all the locomotives will be manufactured in railways newly built factory, that is Dahod, Gujarat. So it is the newly built factory. Newly built factory means it will have all the required things incorporated in it because it is newly built. So it can be taken into consideration that all the things which will be required by both the companies, be it Indian Railway or Siemens, would be there. Then the manpower in the factory will also be supplied by railways, and we all know that Indian Railway is one of the biggest recruiters in our country, so the manpower would not be a issue in this agreement. Then Siemens will bring in material procurement, supervision and the technology to make the 9000 horsepower engine. So what will happen in this is, okay, there are two entities, one is Indian Railway, another one is Siemens. So what will Siemens do? First they will be helpful, or what they will be doing is the material procurement. So all the material which will be taken and all the material which would be bought would come in the respect of Siemens. Then they will be doing all the supervision work also in this agreement, and then all the technology is also what they will be getting. Then the regular railways locomotives have between 3000 and 6000 horsepower. So the normal locomotives which are present in the Indian Railways is between the range of 3000 to 6000 horsepower. But what they will be building in the new agreement is the 9000 horsepower engines. So this is much higher than what is already present, which is 3000 and 6000. And what we are doing in Madhepura factory is 12,000 horsepower, and in Marhova factory is 6,000 horsepower. So the 9,000 horsepower locomotives is what we will be building in the new agreement. Now let's talk about the agreement between Indian Railways and Siemens. So the agreement is of manufacture cum maintenance type. So it means that the company Siemens would be responsible for the maintenance part and the manufacturing part also, as they will be responsible for all the procurement things. So procurement is what they will be doing, manufacturing and technology is what they will be giving us, and then maintenance aspect also is what they will be handling. And the contract is for around 35 years, and 35 years is almost what is the life of any locomotive or engine. Then the contract or the model is of assured offtake type. Assured offtake means that whatever would be there, means whatever would be produced, the buyer is there, nothing will go waste. So whatever the company Siemens will be producing, the Indian Railways will buy it, because they will produce the amount, the number or the frequency of locomotives what has been discussed between the two sides. So all the 1200 engines are pre-bought by the client, which is Indian Railways. So there is zero risk. So this point is also what makes this agreement or the new model very special, because there is no risk involved in this. Whatever the company would be producing, the Indian Railways would be buying it. Then comes the Indian Railways benefit. What benefit will the Indian Railways be getting from this agreement? First and foremost is the upskilling of railway production manpower. So upskilling is one of the major issues also in our country, that do we have the skilled manpower in our country with respect to the present scenario which has been going on around the world, and upskilling needs to be done on regular basis. So this will help the Indian manpower in upskilling their required skills. Then technology upgrade, because what we will be getting from outside is their expertise, and we can learn a lot from their expertise and technology, and can also learn it, and then in the future times we can also try to inculcate in our own country. Then 2 of the 1200 locomotives have been earmarked for export also, and if we will be able to produce the desired and the up to the mark products, then what we can also do is export few of them and see whether they are doing well in the global market and according to the global standards also. Then the future workhorse for freight operation. With this, we will also be producing the future workhorse. It means for the future ready freights, and the freight number of freight and the frequency of freight will also be increasing in the coming time. So the future workhorse will also be required or will also be come into place. Then let's talk about the Indian Railways. I will be telling you few very general points that you should be knowing. So first is the Union Budget and the Railway Budget unified in the year 2017. It means the Union Budget and the Railway Budget now is presented in one set. Earlier they were separate. A separate Railway Budget was there and a separate Union Budget was there. But now it is a unified budget. And Indian Railway has the 4th largest rail network in the world. A very general point you should be able to know. And who all are the countries who are ahead of India is the United States, that is America, China and Russia. So India has the 4th largest rail network in the world. Then it is a network of around or more than 70,000 kilometers and covers more than 8,500 stations, and the number of trains are more than 21,000. And they carry more than 23 million passengers and 3 million tons of freight per day. Because we know that, see, India is a very dense country, and plus the railway network is that one network which actually integrates the whole of India. So railways is everywhere. It is in the states, it is in the districts, it is in the cities, it is even connects the small portions of India to the other part of India. Then the Indian Railways has prepared a National Railway Plan for 2030, which will take Indian Railway forward to 2050. And we all know that the railway reforms has always been so much in news that the Indian Railway required reforms. So there is National Railway Plan for 2030. Now let's talk about the importance of railway. What is the role which Indian Railways plays inside the country? So first and foremost is the railways stretch their hands in conducting activities like business, because it connects from one place to another place. Sightseeing, many people go for traveling from one place to another place using the Indian Railways. Pilgrimage is a part of tourism also, along with transportation of goods. Then it is easier for long distance travel, because many a times people cannot afford to go by road, or they do not have the four-wheelers, and the flight and the air travel becomes very expensive. So it is the Indian Railways which they use. It plays a vital role in national integration. National integration is in the sense that it connects Kanyakumari to Kashmir and also from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. So it is the Indian Railways which connects one place to another place and one person to another person. Railway hold a major hand in the economy of the country, because see, we have freight corridors going from one place to another place. Then we have goods and services moving along the Indian Railways, people conducting their businesses on Indian Railways, and it is one of the major contributors in the employment section of the country also, and it keeps our economy moving. Then railways are the most preferred mode of transport among the people of India, because it is extremely economic also. Then Indian Railways have the capacity to carry huge loads and bulky goods for long and short distances, because people many a times are not able to afford the air travel. So it is the alternative or the replacement mode or model, we can say, is the Indian Railways. Then comes the railway reforms. So few of the points are: first is private entry to offer competition and better services, and as compared to 10 years before, now only if we will see that the Indian Railways have improved a ton, and it is preferred that if the private player will enter into the Indian Railways, then the competitive spirit would increase and the services of Indian Railways will also increase. Then accounting reforms. ensure cost and profitability numbers are transparent. Accounting reforms, because we also know that Indian Railways also have to do their business so that they can also have a hand in which they are comfortable, because if they will not generate any kind of business or any kind of profit, then this will be a problem for their sustainability also. Then an independent regulator so that no mischief can be done in it. Then devolution of decision making away from a centralized structure in Rail Bhavan. So the decision making needs to be devolved, or the devolution needs to be done, that the people who are at the lower level also should be having certain kind of autonomy or authority, that they can take small decisions on their own. Then comes the HR reform, which means not only the structure of railway board but also unification of services. So this means that already we have seen that the IRMS, that is the Indian Railway Management Services, has been created. So what this will do is, this will give a boost to the Indian Railways, as people separately will be recruited for the higher positions of Indian Railways. Then the National Monetization Pipeline has an asset monetization plan for Indian Railways, and this will also generate a lot of profits and revenue for Indian Railways, which can be used for other purposes also. So this was about the railway reforms. Now it's time for the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. And it says, recommendation of which committee in 1920s, and if to be specific, it is around 1924, separated the railway budget from the general budget. I would expect you people to know this answer, because this is an important committee. So try to find out and answer this question, and the options are JVP committee, Hunter Commission, Butler committee and Eckworth committee. So try to solve this answer and give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.